Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Loretta. Hi, Amy. Good to see you both. Welcome. I'm 2 minutes early, but that's okay. I see we got three thumbs up, but I'm the only one here. I guess everybody ran off to do something before I came live. That's all right. I don't mind waiting. There you are. Hi, Amy. Amy, I think Loretta must have disappeared for a minute. I don't see her here now. It just says that you and I are the only ones here. Good to see you too, girl. Iris, hello. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. I'm glad you found us. A lot of my friends from before have found us now that I've been able to turn this back. Hi, Brett. Hello to you too. I see Brett's now learned to type Kate. Is he as fluent in Kate as you are, Amy? Got 4 folks here and 5 thumbs up. Loretta must have put her thumb up. Hi, Joe. Welcome. There she is back. Yeah, since I started back doing the live streams on this channel again, then once I got access to it, a lot of folks are finding me again, and I'm so excited. I missed all the guys that didn't find me on the other channel. Hair, I washed my hair this morning. It's still not quite dry. Oh well, it'll be dry by the time we're done. How is everyone today? What's the weather like where you are? It's 81 degrees here and sunny, not a cloud in the sky, and a lovely breeze. And let's see, 47% humidity. I have to lean around because my monitor is between me and my weather station. Beautiful weather in West Tennessee. I'm so glad to hear it. Oh, very good, Amy. Very good. I've got tomatoes I got to put in the dirt today. I only have 4 plants, but since I'm by myself and I have a tomato guy that grows wonderful tomatoes for me, I don't usually plant too many of my own. But I wanted some Cherokee purple this year, and he doesn't usually grow that, so I put some of those in. Joe, let's see, you're all right. Been a long day. Your mom went to run a simple errand 2 hours ago. Biden didn't tell me if she's running the bank account out and you're turning the debit card to confetti. Good for you. Just bought a chair under a shade tree to chat with. Oh, cool. How nice. I'm glad you're able to do that, Brett. I couldn't see my screen if I took it outside. It's too bright out there for my eyes. Hello, Ruth. Good afternoon and welcome. Good to see you. You're working in the garden today, so you'll be listening. All righty. Well, that's fine, Loretta. I understand how that goes. I need to get out and do some of that myself, too. I've got those tomato plants that need to go in. My chickens are so happy to be lovely today. They really like this weather a lot. I just realized I went to church today without a necklace on. It's unusual for me. I generally wear a necklace. Oh, thank you, Iris. The screen is just slightly over arm's length away. So, and I've got the sun off to the side of me, so I got good light too. Hello, single men. Welcome back. I missed you too, Eli. It's been a while. I'm glad to see you around. For those of you who um, don't know, about a year ago, I lost access to this channel. And so I started a new channel and was growing it very slowly. And about a month ago, I was getting set up for my Sunday afternoon live stream and grabbed a cup of coffee and went around the corner to my computer. And about 3 steps from my computer, my cat stepped out and got right under my feet, and I tripped over him and fell forward, and I dumped my cup of coffee right into my computer. And I grabbed it up and washed it out real good, and then put it in a bed of rice and covered it up with rice, and it didn't recover. So I just got this computer. This was David's computer. I got it up and running finally, and it was still plugged into the old channel, which I did not know. So I'm thrilled. I'm back on the old channel, and I'm finding a lot of folks I haven't seen in over a year, like Eli. Hi, Lisa Clark. I'm doing real well today. It's been a very good day. It's gorgeous outside. It really is. It's in the high seven. No, I think it's 81. Didn't I say? Yeah, it's 81 here. The sky is clear, the sun is shining, there's a light breeze, and I'm having a wonderful time. Hello, Melinda. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Excuse me, Kitty. Am I taking up some of your room here? My cat decided he was going to share the chair with me today, so he is sleeping on the chair beside me. See if I can lean it forward and let you see him. There he is. If I sit down in this chair, he thinks he has to be here too. So I spend a lot of time with him either directly behind my back or on the side like he is today. And it's not terribly uncomfortable. Sometimes he decides to stretch out and he really gets away. Hi, fishes and loaves. Welcome. I'm glad you found us again. Excuse me, big boy. I didn't mean to crowd you. How's that? Is that better? Oh, okay. Hello, Susanna. Good to see you. Trying to get the camera straight. I had to show folks that I'm sharing my chair with my cat. And then when I stood the computer back up, it's not quite centered again. So, oh well. Good to see you here, Susanna. I'm glad you came in. Got some long-time friends showing up here. It's wonderful. Hello, Celtic Bear. Okay, well, if you have to go, we understand. I'm glad you dropped by to say hello, though. It's nice to see you, Celtic. Full of parsley today. Mine is full of, believe it or not, dandelion greens. I went out last evening and picked every dandelion I could find, or pulled some of, not all of the leaves off, but some of them. It almost completely filled up my dehydrator. So I'm going to have lots of dandelion greens to go in my super green powder. Just have a lot going on, and your ADHD. Help. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that a lot. But I'm glad you dropped in. It's nice to see you. Tracy Smith, how in the world are you, girl? I'm wonderful. I am just doing fine. Good to see you. Hello, How to Garden. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Oh, I wish I had some white clover like you guys do. I would love to put some in Soylent Green. Oh my goodness. Celtic, I haven't thought about that in a very long time. Had to put one of your hens in the broody asylum. Uh oh, Iris. I have some good news. One of my friends from church is going to give me a rooster, so I'm going to start getting some baby chickens in a while. Just he had two, and they were picking on each other and picking on the chickens too, so he said I could have one. So I'm thrilled. Yes, Eli, dandelions are super food, and I get them every year here in my yard, and I pick them and dehydrate them and make super greens that I mix into all kinds of things. I would love for you to dry some for me, Amy. Thank you. Ah, how long will they be with you, Tracy? Do you know? And do you know them, or are you just have you just volunteered to have some come over and you'll meet them when they get here? Free range ducks are driving Amy driving Amy nuts, digging in the raised beds to lay eggs. Yeah, my two are making their nests in interesting places too. Glad I'm doing well. Dressed in our bandanas today. Yes, you have on a purple one. Okay, very good. Well, I wore the yellow so that it would match my shirt, and I had to put little clippies on the back because it's just a little bit small, and I didn't want it to come loose, so I clipped it down. Thank you, Amy. I wish I could get it to grow here, but it's just too dry. Oh, excellent, Celtic. I'm glad that you got the insulin pump. That is wonderful news. Volunteered with a local commune. Just oh, cool! How nice of you. Time for Brett, you're terrible. Poor Miss Lucky Duck. She wouldn't like that at all. That's not a bad idea, Suzanne. The ducks are digging up your plants and seeds. Water hose this morning. Did they run? My ducks like the water. They come towards it when I turn it on. Of course, when I turn it on, I'm usually filling their swimming pool. Looks like this coming week I might be getting the ducks down here instead of having to walk up there, and then I have the ducks and the chickens. 5 shots a day down to one every 3 days. Oh, Celtic, that's awesome news. That is so good. I know when David had his pain pump put in, it made a huge difference, both in the level of the pain he was in and also in the amount of medication he was having to take. So I'm glad that the insulin pump works the same well. That's awesome news. Flew back to the pond. Oh, okay. Yeah. Most birds don't like streams of water in their faces. That's what I do with my guys when they scream too much. I'm all for it. Garden the ducks. Well, I tell you what, Brett, if it turns out that I come your way in the next few weeks, I'll bring your ducks home to live with my ducks, and then I'll have four little girl ducks living in one pen together. Your duck probably wouldn't like it because she would be in an enclosed pen, but at least she'd be safe and there'd be places to lay eggs. Never know. So, okay, Amy. Well, you can relocate them to my duck run. I'll have that'll give me three new birds. The rooster and two new ducks. Cool. Duck Grammy. Are you giving me a new name, fishes? Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to do right now, Amy, is find someone that I can trust to come in to feed the birds that I have here. The chickens, that's not a problem, and the ducks are still up with my brother-in-law, so they'll get fed. But having someone that I trust to come in my house and feed the um, the big guys, that's taking some trouble finding them. And right now, I really don't have the money to board them. It costs to board all four of my birds for 3 days is a little over $300. Kind of expensive. How's the food situation? You know, we have a lot of Tracy, I have not noticed any shortages here, to be honest, but then I don't go out and grocery shop very often. The local food bank, I get food every Monday from them because I'm a senior and they have a special program for those of us over 70. And I go every Monday and pick up whatever they have. And frankly, it's been very generous lately. I got 50 pounds, no, I got 100 pounds of carrots 3 weeks ago. And that took one of the 50-pound bags and divided it out and gave it to several different people that I knew really needed some food. And I also got 50 pounds of chickens, and I got them bought enough to separate them, got them in separate bags, and passed those out to people. And there's always lots of canned goods. So right now, we're not having too much problem. We're doing okay. Right, Amy. No shortages in my kitchen. Last week, when I came on, I had just finished canning 5 cases, or 7 cases total, of vegetables and chicken and broth. I had more than I knew what to do with. I spent 4 days straight just canning from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed. It was amazing. You have been fortunate, Lisa. Oh, yes, Vicious. I canned uh, 12, 18, I canned 19 pints of carrots and I dehydrated about 20 pounds of carrots. So I have both canned and dehydrated. Hello, Miss Firefly Farms. How are you? I'm glad you got here. Oh, Dad's at home with her now. Oh, I'm so glad that he's back home. That is wonderful news, Lori. We went to a local Burger King and there was live chicken in the. That's funny. I saw the picture, Brett, but I didn't see the chicken. But I didn't really look because I glanced at it as I was getting ready for church this morning. I've been watching a lot of your videos because I didn't see them as you let them out in the last week or two. I got all cut up this morning. Oh yes, yes. I use dehydrated carrots for a lot of things, dishes. You put them in any kind of casserole. You can put them in soups and stews. You can rehydrate them and do other things. There's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I, Amy, I found some old voicemails on the phone from Danny. I've been enjoying listening to it. Oh, that's wonderful, Amy. I know what you mean. I've gone back and looked at some of the videos with David on them, and it is a blessing, especially on those really hard days when I'm really missing him. It's nice to be able to go back and watch us interact with each other and listen to his voice. I understand. What oil, sugar, vinegar, supply your email. Yep. She's in a nursing home. Oh, that's so wonderful. Oh, Mr. I would too, Eli. I can buy bones at my local butcher, but he charges $5 for 5 pounds of bones. So it's a little expensive, but it makes a lot of beef broth, so it's worth it. Fishes, if you start looking for another one, there are some really good ones on the market. The Magic Meal is the best one I've found recently. I like it especially because it's all metal. You don't have a lot of plastic to reach in. It's not terribly expensive. It has 10 trays. They're not a huge oversized one. I think the trays are like 12 by 12 or maybe a little smaller. So you might look at them. You can find them on Amazon. Tracy, what's your question, dear? I love mine too, Brett. Brett grabbed who? Oh, up there talking about the critter scratching around in the mulch. I really like the idea that you guys had about putting your compost in the chicken pen. If I had a big enough one, I would do that too. It's cheaper than the Excalibur fishes, and it's also better because you don't have all the plastic inside of it to leach into your food. It's starting to roll again. Is it? Tracy, I didn't get. There we go. You have a question. I didn't see what you're asking about, dear. Welcome back, Joe. Let the chickens roam free. A friend shared her post from I don't let my chickens out of their run. Oops, hold on a minute. I got somebody at the door. Oh, hi. Got some chicken food. I'm sorry. About a bag of chicken food. I just put it in the garage because the other one just filled up. I'm online. Okay, thanks. Sorry about that. That was my brother-in-law. He just bought a bag of chicken food for us. Let's see. Letting the chickens clean up the compost. Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea too. Oh, under Firefly. Okay, let's see. Go back and see what you're talking about. I totally missed it. Sorry. Oh, yeah, I've been thinking about moving my compost pile. The only thing is, my compost is on one side of the yard and my chicken pen is on the other. And I've got a big double compost pile. So, what I may do is start a smaller compost bin inside the chicken pen. That'll be after I move the ducks into their own bin. Talk louder for a bit. You'll be only listening for the next few minutes. Okay. Composting the chicken yard is great. No ants or weeds. So I don't have ants or weeds either one in mine either. But I was told the reason I don't have ants in mine is because I put orange peels and stuff in it, and orange kills ants. I don't know. The store wasn't. Well, I'm glad to hear it wasn't as bad as you thought it would be, Joe. That's good news. In 10 days, my dear sweet mama is going to be 93 years old. And my sister is coming up from Corpus, which is about 200 miles from here. We're going to take mama out for either dinner or lunch. I'm not sure which because nobody drives at night except me. Gonna go out and have a nice meal. But Amy with Sandy Sue. Yeah, fishes. That happens pretty easily here too. But like I said, I don't have the ant because I put orange peels and stuff in my compost, and I'm told that that's why I don't get the ants. I just don't want to go back to the anti-prepared mindset. She had money away and oh dear, gonna have to take the money away from her. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to take it away. Yeah, they are, Amy. You're right. Oh, Fred, I'm sorry to hear that, but you're right. 98 is a long life. I continue to love her, and 12 years younger than you. Thankfully, still here with you. Congratulations. My mom is 14 days older than my stepdad. She was 7 months older than my biological. I will thank you, Amy. I should be seeing her tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday and Friday is next week. For the orange peel roaches. Lisa, I've not had that experience, but then you've got to understand that when you have big birds in your house, they attract roaches, and so it's very hard to keep the roaches down. I use diatomaceous earth everywhere, and that seems to help a little bit. But I don't know about the orange peels. Not, not heard anything about that at all. Using the DE around the bottoms of their cages and around the wheels and stuff helps keep it under control. And then every day when I get ready to change the papers in the bottom of the cage, I take each bird out and I spray down the inside of the cage and down each of the corners where the wires go together. I spray down those with alcohol, and that kills them off too. So if you don't give them a place to hide, that helps. And if there are any small places where they might hide, I spray that down with alcohol, and that seems to help. Thank you very much, Brett. 18 thumbs up. People come in and put the thumbs up and disappear again. Boric acid, I've been told that works too, Eli. When I was a kid, we used a combination of boric acid and powdered sugar. And the powdered sugar brought the roaches in, and then Mom said the boric acid would make them dehydrate themselves. Thumbs up. That's okay. Like I said, Bruce, Bruce. You can't type today. I can't talk. Like I said, you're typing fluent Kate today. Oh, my mom is who she was talking about, Loretta. My mom's birthday is in 10 days. She'll be 93. Oh, I try not to turn autocorrect on because if I have autocorrect on, I say things I truly do not intend to say. My typing is, I'm a fast typist, but unfortunately, I can make a lot of mistakes when I'm on this computer because I'm not used to the keyboard. Rats there. Didn't realize that you're careless and I'm not back on. Yeah, and here we have a problem with the chickens attracting rats and mice. But when they attract the rats and mice, chickens get them too. Hello, Metal for breakfast. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. We had. Tell my mom. I will. Thank you, Loretta. I had the bee guy over the other day, and he opened it up and said that the hive that made it through the winter is doing well. That it's still growing. It got it. The other one, the first one we had, did not make it, and the one that is making it was a small hive, but it made it through the winter and it's continuing to grow. Thank you very much for asking. They're going to be okay. Goodness, now 13 people here and 18 thumbs up. That's exciting. I have a confession. OBJ, organic gummy bears, addicted to the missile. I uh, I have gummy calcium and I love them, but I don't chew them. I put them in my mouth and just let them slowly melt. So I'm getting my vitamin C and enjoying a sweet treat at the same time. He's bringing in pollen from the dewberries and the willow tree. Yeah, I bet there. There's not a whole lot. Well, there's not a lot of trees around here, period. So there's not a lot to bloom. My all of my fruit trees are blooming. My peach trees on either side of the front door were big pink puffs last week. Some of those are gone down a little bit, and my pear trees are white. And I looked the other day, and my mulberry trees, the red mulberry is just covered with little tiny green berries. The white one is just starting to leaf out, so you'll probably have some berries real soon too. So Wendy, there, your mulberries are being flung all over. Oh, so they must be big enough that they're starting to come off the tree. Is that it, garden? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm in South Central Texas, Tracy, down in the San Antonio area. Yeah, it gets that way in the fall when not the fall, around February, and the cedar starts blooming here. Everything gets a yellow film on it. Oh, uh, good, Eli. You don't need to be around that. I'm that way, not with bees, but with wasps. So I can have the bees around. They don't their sting doesn't hurt me. But if I get around wasps, you'll see me running. I take off the other direction real quick because I was told. Yes, yes, Tracy. It's spring here. It's middle of spring. Um, I was told one time by a doctor that if I ever got stung again, I should take my last 7 minutes to say goodbye to my family. So I stay away from the wasps. I don't get anywhere near them. Yeah, our oaks are dropping pollen too. Nothing green yet in New York. Well, you're pretty far north still. I am south and west of the Broussard homestead. I'm in Texas instead of Louisiana, and I'm south. They're on about the same level as Houston. Houston's east and north of me. So, kind of spring where you are, Metal? Uh, well, Firefly, at least you've got the snowdrops up. That's a sign. I like snowdrops. I think they're beautiful. Oh, Tracy, you got snow yesterday? Almost right. So the wind is blowing. Yes, I hate it when they get that way. Good for you, how to garden. I hope mine get ripe enough for me to do that with. Out there now, going to get Brett to spray them. Don't feel good. Don't let the wasps around me and don't give me peppers and I'll be okay. Been gathering mulberries bit by bit and then putting them in the freezer. Yeah. Well, mine, I was out there yesterday and mine are green and they're just about a quarter of an inch long right now. You can barely even tell that they're there. So it'll be a couple of weeks anyway before they get good enough. And then I'm going to be air layering them so that I can bring some small trees to Amy and Brett. I'm sorry, Joe. Believe me, I understand. My mom is very trying from day to day, too. Kamara's Cute Creations. Hello, Kamara. It's wonderful to see you. Welcome. So glad you came by. I bet they did suffer. Now everybody's going to be saying, don't kill Kate. The first time I went to see Brett and Amy had to keep saying that to herself so she would remember not to put peppers in the food because they eat lots of different kinds of vegetable peppers, and I'm very, very allergic. And she kept repeating that so she would remember not to put peppers in the food. You're supposed to be able to tell them, but she left me with your dad upset with them, and she's screaming at me and asking where she went. Oh, well, I know it's hard to handle, Joe, and so there are some days when I have similar situations, but while it's hard to think of that, she's dealing with him too. So I know it doesn't help, but I'll be praying for you. It's not fun. I've been on your end of it, and it's not fun. Yes, I agree. Dishes. Sometimes it is. 18 pepper plants in the garden. Good for you. I saw your video this morning where you were counting the number that you had. So you're going to have a bunch of them. Oh, how wonderful. A gallon of berries to make jam. Hmm. Last year I got about 12 berries off my tree total. And that was the first year that they had grown. I kept them when I first got them, I kept them in 5-gallon buckets for a year and a half. And I finally got them into the ground, and it took 2 years for them to get over being stunted because they'd been kept in buckets. Last year they went from being about 3.5 feet tall to being over 12 feet tall, and they bloomed and had berries for the first time. This year they are just covered, and they're about 20 feet tall in some places. And I need to know, those of y'all who have mulberries, is it smart to prune them back to a reasonable manner, or should you just let them get tall? I don't know what to do with it. I mean, they're both beautiful trees, but they're so tall you can't get to the um, berries up on the top branches, and I don't know whether I should try and cut it back or not. Thank you. The second stroke had exacerbated her mean streak. The third helped bring some of her back. Oh, that's so hard to deal with. My grandmother was that way. Okay, well, maybe they're supposed to get big, Lori. Hey, outer garden, you can tell it. They prune well. Don't be afraid to cut them. Okay, good. Because I'm not going to be able to harvest a whole lot of them this year because they're just too tall. Even on a ladder, I can't reach very high up. So unless Brett wants to bring the fire truck down here and let me use the big ladder on that, I guess I'll just have to miss the top. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Like I said, some of the branches are almost 20 feet tall. They really are. They're huge out there. Or maybe this coming winter when they're dormant anyway, I'll go ahead and chop them back a little bit. And then next year I'll be able to reach most of them and be able to cut them off. Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't, Brett. Been thinking about going over to my local fire station and see if I can make friends with the guys over there and have them bring their truck over. Maybe if I promise to make them a mulberry pie. I know they take them to go up to the Walmart. I've seen them there. Okay. Thank you, Lori. I didn't do it this year. I wanted to have some older wood because I'm going to do some air layering. And I've been told that air layering on the older wood is good for them. Yeah. Don't do paper towel germination. You just put in damp potting media and get them damp. Oh, good, Joe. That's excellent. Yeah. Brett, I wish I thought that was true. I really do. Yeah, I most of my fruit trees are tall. My pear trees are too tall for me to reach the top of, even with my 6 foot ladder out there. My mulberries are way too tall. I thought about borrowing my brother in law's 12-foot ladder, but the trees aren't thick enough to support a 12-foot ladder up on them. Um, my fig tree is not that tall, but it's big around. So, and there's a lot of times when I have wasps in there, so I don't go near the fig too much. We used to harvest commercially, lay down tarps and shake the tree. That's a good idea. Got lots of tarps and I could put them down, and I love shaking the trees. Takes out a lot of frustration. Thank you, Hatter Garden. That's a wonderful idea. I will definitely try that. A great way to harvest a lot of them because there's going to be a lot of them on that tree, and I don't want them all to just fall on the ground. I like mulberries too much for that to happen. Oh, um, I have some somewhat good news. Now that my cat's out of the chair, I can sit back where I belong. Um, last, a minute, you love my yellow outfit. Color for you. Oh, thank you, Tracy. I like yellow a lot. I really do. You're right, Eli. No ladders at our age, although, and I'm considerably older than you are, so you're right. I'm going to share good news. For the past about 3 weeks, or maybe a little more, I've been having some real troubles with my blood pressure. It's been going up hugely, way above what it should. And I already take 2 pills twice a day, so I'm taking 4 blood pressure pills a day. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get the blood pressure to come down. Well, I know you are, Eli, and I am 72. I'll be 73 in August. I'm old enough to be your big sister. Anyway, we couldn't figure out what was causing my blood pressure to go up. It has just been horrible. And I went to the doctor this past week and talked to him, and he agrees with me that um, I am having stress issues because of the things going on in my life and adjusting to a new single life and all the other things. So he has put me on anti-stress medication for a short while, and already it has made a difference. The last 2 nights, I've gotten almost 8 hours of sleep both nights, and I don't normally sleep more than 4 hours at a time. So, just so that you guys know, it looks like we may have found the source of the blood pressure problem, and once we can get the anxiety gone, I can get settled into my new way of life. I'll be able to give that up and things will be better. Heard there was another gun related incident. California saying the Oh my. Good idea, fishes. We hope you can find a new place to live. Patio, you saw some beautiful plants. Lisa, I understand that. I've got plenty of space, and I still don't get them all. I get one or two here or there. Yes, I did, didn't I? Correct. Yeah, Joe, that's part of what I'm doing. I've just been going so crazy trying to deal with loss of David and my parents and my sister and all the things that have been going on. It just has been really more than I was willing to admit, even to myself. So, but it was a ladder, and I did climb it. Yeah, thank you, Tracy. It is good news. I wasn't. I had no clue what was going on. I really did not know. I just knew that every afternoon about 2:30 or so, I would start having chest pains and difficulty breathing, and my blood pressure would go through the roof, and I'd be dizzy and woozy and all the terrible things, and I didn't know what was going on. So Dr. Tribe has given me this new anti-anxiety, and it has truly made a huge difference. Once I get things settled in and I'm comfortable with my new life, he said he will wean me off of them, and and I'll be back on my own, but I'll have things under control. I won't be so wacko. One of those shake exercise machines from the 60s. Oh my goodness. That's an interesting idea. Uh, Fishes, it is illegal in Texas. I would love to do something like that, but it is illegal in Texas, so I cannot. And um, this medication does make me sleep as well. Bad news there 20 years ago. Yeah, I agree. Never tasted strawberry. What does it taste like? Like a strawberry without the bitterness. It's a very sweet, fresh flavor, Ruth. Very nice. True. Idea. Place you live, have all that stuff. Safer places to live. Very good. Bad. We all carry here now too, or can. We don't all do it, but we can. I love to just stand out there and pick them off the trees and eat them, Joe. I just love mulberries. There's nothing better than a fresh mulberry right off the tree. Imagine blackberries and all the others will probably taste good. Heck, I might even like raspberries right off the bush. I don't like them any other way, but I might like them off the bush because everything tastes so different that way. It's all right, Joe. We understood. If I can, if I can do it. Thank you, fishes. I was getting to the point where I was only getting about 2 hours sleep in 24. I was not able to sleep at all, and so this has made a huge difference right there. If they had medical marijuana and I could get a prescription, I would try that. At this point, the sleep is a blessing. Yeah, I'm still sitting down and falling asleep, but Tracy, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for coming for the visit. It was lovely to see you, and I'm really thankful that you came in. Sleep well and have a wonderful week, and maybe we'll get to see you next week. Bye, dear. I'm getting your mulberries past the kids. Yeah, I would too. I would too, how to garden. I love mulberries so much. When my kids were growing up, we had a mulberry tree in the yard of the church we went to, and no one knew what they were and no one liked them. So I would get to go over every year and harvest all kinds of mulberries. And my kids got to eat them because they learned about them that way. You're only getting 2 hours of sleep. Most of that has to do with midnight bathroom duty. Yeah, I understand, Joe. Mine is because I could not turn my head off. I just couldn't stop thinking. I would get so tired, it would almost make me sick. I was so tired. Yeah, thank you, fishes. Yes, it was getting so bad. Well, my blood pressure was running 157 to 165 over 95, which is pretty high, I'm told. And it was just really getting bad. I had cut almost all of the salt out of my diet. Um, I was not eating a lot of the fats that some people say is bad for blood pressure. No, I don't drink alcohol at all. Um, I don't smoke. I was doing everything I could think of that would be good for blood pressure. And still, it was just going up and up and up. And sometimes I would sit there in my chair with my chest, just feeling like I had someone sitting here, not able to catch my breath because my heart was beating so hard and so fast I couldn't expand my lungs enough to get the breath. I am really, really glad that I got something, even if it's just temporary. That's okay with me. Yeah, even magnesium didn't help. I was told magnesium was good when you were tense from stress and stuff. Here, hello, Music Mansion. I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad you came in. Thank you. And thank you for your lovely words. I don't know why I didn't think about the anxiety, but I didn't. Back in the mid 90s, I had such a bad anxiety attack that I passed out, and I was in a hospital for those people who had issues for about 8 hours trying to figure out what was wrong. And found out that it was anxiety, and they put me on medication, and everything got fine. So thank you, Howard Garden. The new does seem to be helping. I don't feel nearly as anxious. I didn't feel stressed. I'm not stressed. I didn't feel depressed. That much I knew it was not. But the anxiety, I knew I was having some stress that way because I was beginning to get very short tempered with my parents, and that's not like me. And I was beginning to stay away when I needed to be with them and be helping to care for them. So I'm really glad the doctor agreed with me. I told him when I went in to see him that I thought it was stress and anxiety. Yeah, it can be, Amy. You're right. It can be very stressful at times. Hello, Farmer in Adele Acres. It's wonderful to see you. It's great to see you. Well, anyway, 2 nights in a row, and I've gotten over 6 hours, almost 8 hours of sleep both nights. I feel like a new person. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate the prayers. I truly do. My goodness, I've got 22 thumbs up. Michigan Mike, it has been forever since I've seen you. How are you? Oh, I'm so glad you came by, Mike. Thank you so much. I have missed you a lot. I'm glad you came in. Yep. Well, actually, Joe, I'm not a real stressed person most of the time, and I'm not at all a depressed person. I don't get depressed easily at all. But the issues with my folks and my dad's dementia and my mom's determination that she's going to handle everything, even though she shouldn't be handling any of it, just was beginning to get to me. And I knew I needed a break. I only went to my folks' house one day this week. I talked to them every day on the phone, but I only went over there one day this week, and they said they were fine. That helped a little bit too. My sister is going to come from Corpus for Mom's birthday next week, and that will help some. I know Mom would like to see her. My niece has been a godsend. She has run over and checked on Mom and Dad. Well, not every day, but several times last week. And she calls and talks to them on the phone almost every day, like I do. So pretty good. Kind of weird after a while. Yes, yes, Joe. That's exactly it. Um, and it's new for me. It well, it's not real new. I mean, I've been doing it off and on for about the last 4 years, but I had David that I could transfer my focus on, and that way I was not focusing entirely on here or here. I'd focus on Mom and Dad for a while, then I'd focus on David, and I'd switch back and forth, so it was not quite so stressful. Um, Now with David gone, um, all I have is Mom and Dad to focus on, and both of them are becoming more confrontive. They're both becoming more determined that it's their way no matter what. So yeah, I know, Joe. You're amazing. You really are. There are not that many people your age who would give up their lives to take care of your parents. Just aren't. My hat goes off to you. It truly does. And now, wait a minute, Amy. You're supposed to be taking care of me, or were you talking to Joe? Yes, I agree, Loretta. I absolutely agree. Hopefully, I'm going to be a happy old lady, easy to get along with, full of laughter and goodwill to everyone. We do have both dementia and Alzheimer's in our family. I have I told David the whole time we were married that when I got old enough for that to start, that I wanted to be a happy old lady. I did not want to get all freaked out by the changes. I just go, okay, God's taking care of me all this time, and He'll take care of this one too, and just go on and be happy. Okay, that sounds good to me, Amy. Take care of each other. One thing if they Joe, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. Making yourself sick on purpose is not the way to do it. And believe me, having watched my husband go through what happens when you become a heavy smoker for a long time, please don't do that to yourself. Thank you. Thank you. That is, I don't try and talk people into quitting, but it does. It does upset me when I think someone might do that. Shame on me. Stop that now. Okay. Do you realize I've been on for an hour? I need to get my pen out and get my prayer list started. Okay, prayer list. Let's see. Yeah, Joe, it is. It can be very difficult, but he would not want me to be upset, and he wouldn't want me to cry, and I try my best not to. Thank you, Lord. I just try to be the best person I know how. Yeah, really, Brett. The hour just disappeared. I was shocked when I looked up and realized it was over an hour. Your mom smoked for 60 years and now has heart failure, dementia, and on oxygen. Not fun, but happy to take care. Yeah, that's what David had. He smoked from the time he was 10 until the time he was 72. No, 73. And he was a heavy smoker. Amy, I feel better, and every day it will be better. Just pray that I can find somebody that can come take care of the birds so I can come. Well, the golden years can be good, although you have to understand that things are going to change. Yeah, he started smoking very young. He and his dad would smoke together, and they smoked uh, Camels Unfiltered for a while, and then they went to something else. I don't remember what the other one was. I don't know. I will have to do that, Lori. I would like that. Let me get over here and I just discovered the other day I can go and supposed to be able to just well, I'll come back and find you. I was hoping that I could just click on it and go right to it. Lori, if you were closer, I'd teach you how and I'd let you come and watch them. Thank you, Brett. That's what I need. Somebody that's not only trustworthy, but the birds will like because if they don't like them, it'll be difficult for the person. They will. Joe, I was very fortunate. David had all these heart problems from his smoking, but he did not have diabetes. He did not at all. I didn't realize you babysat. Stuart, welcome. It's been a long while. It's wonderful to see you. I'm so glad you found us. Um, we also discovered about 2 weeks before he passed that he had throat cancer and some issues in his lungs. So while I really didn't want him to pass, with the things he had coming up, I'm not too sure he would have been comfortable going through what he was going to have to face. Um, prayers for mom to get straightened out. Something with the IRS rejected him 2 years ago. So, yeah, we had a problem with my folks. The man who does their taxes made a typo on their social security number and it cost them over $10,000. They had no idea what had happened. And they're getting it straightened out now, but I can't help it. You're a friend, and if I think something's going to hurt you, it's going to upset me and make me cry. You know, I tell you guys that I love you, and I really, really do. Thank you, Stuart. I appreciate that. I am doing very well. Every day gets a little bit better, and every day gets a little bit easier. And ask for better than that. Goodness. Well, I have my paper and pen ready. Thank you, ma'am. I like the yellow too. It's one of my favorite. Big wave. How are you? It's wonderful to see you. Welcome. I'm getting better every day, Big Wave. I don't know if you are aware, but I lost David last November. Passed away, and getting used to life without him has been difficult. But we just keep going on, one day at a time, one step at a time. Thank you, Eli. Thank you. That's very sweet of you to say. Uh, Amy, I have got to go through my two big freezers. I have got to get things canned instead of in the freezer. I have no room to put anything else in the freezer. I still have about 30 pounds of carrots I've got to do something with. So I'll probably, once I get the freezer somewhat cleaned out, I'll probably cut those and peel them and cut them in circles and put them in the freezer until I can figure out what else to do with them. Beyond that, I don't know. Oh, thank you, Big Wave. He's better than he was, believe me. He had a lot of really severe health issues coming up. And when I get upset, I think, well, here he is now. He can walk, which he had pretty much lost the ability to walk. He can breathe, he can sing, he can do all the things that he couldn't do in the last 8 or 10 years of his life. He's in a much better place, and I just praise God for that. Yeah, I do miss him, but life does go on, and I'm learning how to live without him. In my younger years, get in shape instead of getting to be stronger for years ahead. I would. Yeah, fishes, it is hard. You can't orange jam. Ooh, orange jam, that sounds good. Amy, I have a feeling there are some things like that in the bottom of one of my freezers that I probably need to get cleaned because who knows what's in there. Yep. It's pretty amazing when you have a big freezer how much can get lost in the back of it. Susanna, I wouldn't. I would get it all thawed out, cut most of the meat off the bones, and just can the meat. And I prefer to do raw pack canning. You can cook it beforehand, but I personally feel like if you cook it beforehand and then can it, that's like double cooking and it comes out tasteless and either rubber or strong. I don't like the texture or the flavor, so I usually don't cook my birds before I can them. You do too. Yep. I just it's easier. It has a provides a better quality product in the end, I think. Awesome. Ah, cool. I love grape. Grape is my favorite flavor, and purple is my favorite color. That sounds awesome, Lori. It really does. Veggie. Huh. Well, I guess you can do it, but I just prefer the raw pack. I like the end product better. Well, I haven't had any requests for prayer. Does that mean everybody's doing better? Does sound good, doesn't it, Fishy? Excellent, Lori. That is so good. I'm all for having praise requests as well as prayer requests. I'm wondering how bird flu is going to affect my chickens and then my guys in the other room. Excellent, Amy. That is wonderful news. Great news. Yay, Ruth. I'm glad you're healing. This is wonderful. Great news, isn't it? And I'm going to put my praise request on there too. Well, guys, I've been on for almost an hour and 15 minutes. Oh, Lord, that sounds good. I like my fresh pears with mayonnaise and uh, cheese. Oh my goodness, that's a big change. I think that's a thank you praise request too. Okay, we're going to try it again. Y'all have a wonderful week. Thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it. It was marvelous to see you. Let's see, try to catch me. Thank you, Big Wave. I appreciate that. Y'all have a wonderful week. Remember when you're out there, if you get to feeling low, you get to feeling down, remember there's at least one person out here that really cares about you and loves you. Well, take care. God bless, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.